morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, wherever and whenever you are joining us. Welcome to our latest edition of What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. As always, I'm your host, the coach Nick Vesci, joined by the boy Stephen Vesci,
What up?
and not here, but here in spirit, because he's rich in spirit, is the man Stephen Comlow. Before we get started, just a time check for you. It is 9:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, June 30th, the last day of June 2026. Don't forget, before we get started, to follow us on all of our social media. That's on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, and Threads at WCME_sports. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio, and all that information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. Now, without further ado, we get into our top catch for the show. And this week, we went with the World Cup knockout rounds. Right, the round of 32 started on Sunday, Canada against South Africa. It'll continue all through this week and through the weekend until we get to the round of 16, which we'll dive right into the week after, right? Just the gift that keeps on giving. So, first, on Sunday, Canada, they scored in stoppage time to beat South Africa 1-0, I believe, to earn the first knockout round victory in Canada's World Cup history, which is pretty
Wow, I did
impressive.
not know that.
Canada, for whatever reason, has not qualified for nearly as many World Cups as you'd think, and the ones that they
I would have,
have
yeah, I would
has
have
had
thought they'd be
they've
pretty
had
good.
no success, which is crazy to me because they're a
Oh,
very talented team.
yeah, because all their hockey players grow up playing soccer.
Yeah, I mean, think about some of these other Canadians like Steve Nash, incredible
Yeah,
soccer player, right? And some of these other Canadians who are into soccer, Ryan Reynolds, Mike Myers, right? It's not like soccer is a non-existent sport in Canada. And again, I feel like they've had good teams, and this is one of their better teams, to be honest with you. But good for them. Uh, but shocking to hear that, right? They've never won a game in the
yeah, it was
knockout
pretty
rounds.
shocking.
Um,
I always,
I don't
every
even know if
time,
they
every
I don't even know if they had gotten to the knockout rounds before, actually, to be honest with you. I don't know if they've ever gotten
wow,
out of the group stage. Uh,
every time I hear them, I always think about the Ralph Wiggum in the Simpsons episode, the parody of the Lord of the Flies, where they're doing the Model UN and everyone's fighting, and Ralph just stands up and just goes, "Oh, Canada," and he's dressed like a Mountie.
well, the Mounties, or the Leafs, if you will, they will play Morocco. Now, Morocco, number 7 team in the world, by the way. Right? So,
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, especially Americans, don't know that because I
yes,
didn't know that.
they made it to the semifinals. They came in 4th at the last World Cup. I brought it up a few weeks ago about when they play Brazil, one of the best group stage games, and Comlo, who knows more about soccer than we do, was like, I was like, no, Morocco is really freaking
Legit.
good. Yes,
Yeah.
legit, as legit as you can get. Right? I mean, they are a true contender to win it all. But they, I don't know if you watched the game, they dominated the Netherlands. They
Yes.
they made the Dutch look not Dutch. I mean, like, and
I know. I
part of that
kept
was
waiting for.
tactics from the
Yeah.
Dutch, like game plan, which was highly criticized by our boy Zlatan, and I think rightfully so, because they were essentially just playing to try to win in penalties, which they're the number 8 team in the world. It's not like, for most people, the Dutch, even as good as Morocco is, would be favored to win that game. But I mean, Morocco was easily the better team in the game, and good for them. They won dramatic victory in penalties. I believe the last save that their goalie made, Yassine Bono, who's one of the best goalies in the world, by the way, straight up knew. Like, and I could tell too. Like, it's weird. Like, I could tell that guy who was going to take that penalty on, I forget who it is, was going to go left and was going to hit it right there, and he knew too. And literally just takes 2 steps to his right and just swats the ball like volleyball spikes it, like he knew it was coming, because he did. And it was like, oh, he's got him. This guy got you.
Yeah. Apparently, there's an issue with certain soccer teams with their four. I guess how many penalty kickers do you have? Four. Is that
No,
usually what it
it's
is?
5.
Five.
Best of 5, I believe. And then it goes to sudden death after, or
Okay.
sorry,
Well, the
sudden
last
victory.
I guess choosing the last player because like Tanner Twellman, I saw him like tweet about this. and it was like I think it was in regards to the Dutch, and I guess there's like a bunch of people who like didn't want to take kicks. They didn't want to be the person missing. And
They
like
can't
Tanner
think
Sloan was
that
like,
way.
this is a problem. Like this has been a problem with like the fourth and fifth guys or whatever, and how he's like, I always respected guys for going up there to take the kick. I'm like, wait, is this a thing in soccer where guys are too scared to take it?
Yeah, I mean Thierry Henry, the great Thierry Henry, talked about it. I mean, again, he was like, I only took, I think he said he only did penalties once in a World Cup, and he was 20 years old, and essentially he even said it was like too young to realize the magnitude of it and all of it. But he was like, I blacked out. He was like, I don't remember taking the kick. I remember starting to walk from the 50 or the midfield to there, took it, and I came back and was getting patted on the back because I scored. And he's like, I don't remember where I shot it. I don't remember what happened. Uh, but he was like, it was the most insanely nervy thing like he's ever done. Um, I mean,
Wow.
it is because it's such a mind it's a mind fuck essentially is what it is, right? Because you walk up there and it is so close to the goal that it's almost like you psych yourself out. Like, how could I not score? It's so close. But then it goes through your mind of, well, if he guesses this way and he goes this and that, and I won't score. But so it psychs so many guys out. The best penalty takers are the ones that go up there and go, they take in a survey it. They look at what the goalie's done before. They know his patterns. They know their own patterns. They just go before they even step up. I'm shooting the ball there, right? So many of them try to like do the hesitation and read, right? And it's just like
And
a
just
penalty,
shank it.
just like a penalty shot in hockey, right? You still have to have your momentum going forward, so you can never like pull back. So they're trying to read it at the last second, the same way a guy doing a penalty shot in hockey is trying to read at the last second where the goalie moves. But the difference between hockey and soccer is that ball still has to travel. I mean, it's not far, but still has to travel a distance. Whereas in hockey, when you do that, you just run out of space and just you know you could still squeak it under their pad or something, right? Whereas in soccer, if you don't contact it well, I mean, we saw it, you're gonna miss. Like it's not gonna go in the goal. So that I think is the biggest thing is the fact that like a hockey guy taking a penalty can go all the way up to the goal, right?
Yeah.
They can guarantee that the goalie has to make a save, right?
Right.
Whereas in soccer, that's I think the biggest nervy part of it is that there's no guarantee that the goalie is going to make the save, and there's no guarantee you're going to put the ball on target. And so I think that's where guys get that. But I agree that you should want the moment, right? That you define
Yeah.
the moment or the moment defines you. You love to say that all the time. So you would hope that your team is full of guys that say I'm next, who are
Right.
fighting
Yeah.
over to be
I
first.
exactly. Yeah. That's what I want. I want guys fighting over like give me the rock. Like let's go.
But
And
part of that
maybe it's
is
also
also a
because like
soccer
if
mindset.
yeah
It's the hope that
maybe another
kills
part
you
of it
type of
is
thing.
well also maybe another part of it. I don't want to get dark here, but soccer is the biggest thing to some of these countries. Like it's the only thing, and some of these guys will get like serious threats
Yeah, I mean,
for
dude,
missing it. Like
you, you
that,
you're you're correct. Sadly enough, that
that doesn't shock me as to why someone doesn't want to do it.
yeah, no, I mean, if you're like, I could sit back and not take
It's
it,
not
and
my fault. Yeah, it's not my
yep,
fault.
and no
Like
one's gonna come after me or my family or doing it.
exactly.
No, I mean that is very as sad as it is. It's very valid. It is it should be irrational, but I mean, guaranteed any of these guys who missed a penalty, they probably have heard some nasty
Yeah.
ass shit on online or social media. They probably had to like delete their accounts and stuff, which is sad. But you're right, that creeps into your head. But at the same time too, you're never gonna make it if that's your mindset walking up to the
Correct.
you're
As a competitor,
you're
go win the
defeated.
game.
Yes,
Yeah, go win
you're
the game. Yeah, the second you do that, you're not.
you're
And then the
done.
coach is like, "Go win and hit and go," and you're like, "Oh, me? Oh, like you've already lost."
Yes, yes. That's why some guys that I'm gonna get to the Paraguay game here next. I believe they subbed a guy on right at the end of extra time just to take a penalty,
Smart. Nice.
and he missed.
Also,
He missed,
Paraguay.
by the way. I think
Oh, he
he
missed.
hit the post or something.
But it
But
is funny seeing like Paraguay advancing because everybody, when we beat the hell out of them to start the group stage, everyone's like, "Oh well, Paraguay sucks," whatever.
But they
And then
don't.
you said no. This group stage was the biggest cluster of like
Yes,
everybody's right together, and no one knows. Like it was the hardest to like bet on basically who's going to
correct.
advance. And then you just saw and you saw three teams advance, by the way.
Yes, and
And
the
then
team that didn't, Turkey, is actually, I believe, the highest ranked in terms of the FIFA World Rankings. They were the favorite to win that group.
wow, yeah. So
Yes,
there you go. And then so Paraguay gets the
yes,
upset
they beat
victory. So
Germany in penalties as well. Um, it's the first time the Germans had ever lost in penalties in the World Cup. It's also, I believe, the third straight World Cup that Germany has failed to win a knockout round game, which is crazy. Paraguay. So when you get to this stage, right, when eventually the end result, if you're tied, can get to penalties. There are teams that say, well, we're going to purposefully try to get to penalties because it is, we think we can win over that, right? It felt like that's what the Dutch were doing, and that's why that's not how they played it. I think that's why they lost, right?
There are only two things I can't stand in this world: people who are intolerant of other people's cultures, and the Dutch.
Thank you, Nigel Powers. But Paraguay, that's the way they play. That's how they played against the U.S. That they said that against the U.S. too. They are very Italy like almost furthermore. Italy used to play like that when they were successful. I mean, they suck now, but when they were successful, right, they would sit back, very defensive. You're not getting through this wall, and we'll counter on you quick. But Italy was still managing possession. Andrea Pirlo distributing those things like that. But Paraguay was like, we're comfortable. Like this is how we like to play. It's how they play against the U.S. It's how they played their other group stage games. They sit back and they clog it up and they make it a cluster and they say, you won't beat us, and that's just how they're comfortable. And they in a lot of ways, they stuck to their game plan better than Germany did. Now, obviously, Germany was the better side in that they dominated possession, like 80% of possession was theirs. And like I said, part of that is because of Paraguay's purposeful tactics and again, just the way they play. All right, some teams, like I said, will alter their tactics at this stage and play away from what they're used to. But this is what Paraguay does. So I have no problem with the way they did it because it's them. That's their identity. And so they were able to force penalties. They beat Germany in it. Like you said, it makes that U.S. win look a hell of a lot better. And like I said before, Paraguay's a good side. They're a good team. Like they're not like ranked 110th in the world. They're a top, I believe, 30, 35 team in the country. Sorry, in the world. Right. Miguel Almiron he played really well in that game. He's a flopper. You saw him throw his body on the ground before someone got to him, but a lot of that is part of Paraguay's tactics, right? He's able to do that to draw a foul, and that alleviates pressure from the defense. It gains some possession for Paraguay, sets them up for quick counters, like all these things. He did a great job with that.
The Shea Gilgis Alexander of Paraguay.
Yeah, you could probably say that. But what I thought was crazy too, I saw this stat with Germany, right? Like I just said, they had never lost in penalties in their World Cup history. Coming into that game, in the history of German penalty takers at the World Cup, there had been one person to not convert their penalty. Once.
That's it.
Against Paraguay, 3 German players missed their penalty. Isn't that insane? And the guy who missed was it's either like 78 or 82 when he missed it. And that was the one time a German footballer had failed to convert their penalty in the World Cup. And then 3 dudes got stonewalled. So that they deserve, to be honest, they deserve to lose that game for that.
Yeah.
Right. So Paraguay advances. Brazil, they came from behind to defeat Japan 2-1 thanks to 2 second-half goals, including the match winner in the 95th minute of stoppage time by Gabriel Martinelli. France, they pummeled Sweden 3-0 behind a brace from Mbappe, who is, all the talk about Messi with his record for most World Cup goals. Mbappe's right behind him. Yeah, is that what it was?
He just tied it today. He tied it today.
Which is crazy because Messi just keeps scoring as well. And then before we got on here, Erling Haaland, the Viking himself, he scored in the 86th minute to lift Norway over Cote d'Ivoire. 2-1, and Norway is going to take on Brazil in that next round. France, I believe, is going to play Paraguay in that round. Canada plays Morocco. Did I miss anyone from these last few games? I think that's right.
That's it.
Canada, Morocco, Paraguay, France, Brazil, Norway, and obviously more to come. Right, we have a game coming up tonight, or probably starting.
Yeah, it's delayed to Lightning.
Yeah, who was that game?
Because, give me a second.
Not
that is Mexico, Ecuador.
That's Mexico, Ecuador. Yep. And then tomorrow on July 1st,
that's nice. They get the home game.
Mexico.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Oh, Mexico. Yeah, Mexico's played every game in Mexico. I mean,
they should.
Yeah, you're one of the host nations. You should. You deserve it.
You should. Yeah.
And they've played well enough to deserve it too. So I've got no issue with that. It's good. I hope they take care of business against Ecuador, which is a decent side, but Mexico, I would think, is the favorite to go through in that matchup. But the U.S. plays Bosnia and Herzegovina tomorrow, July 1st, at night, I believe, right? I think they're like the 8-9 o'clock game, I think. In Seattle, I believe, is where they play.
I like that. I wish Seattle was the host for like the final. Oh, because I think it's MetLife, right?
Yeah,
I believe.
Well, sorry, New York, New Jersey Stadium.
New York, New Jersey stadiums. Yeah, whatever. I think Seattle should have been it because it's a much more soccer known city.
Well, that stadium is
so cool,
and it's purposely built to funnel like the noise, right? Like, how awesome would that be that the decibels are at the literally? You're right. It would create the craziest environment for a final, but. If you're organizing the event, do you want the final to be set in the craziest environment where a team, or do you want it set in like the biggest area environment where it's like the Super Bowl, Like,
yeah, I get it. I just like Seattle as a better soccer host.
Oh, I agree. But you also do have to take into account too the time differences for the countries. Like, I bet they were looking at like, X number of countries in this tournament if it's played.
If it's a European team, it needs to be in the East Coast.
And and heck, right? Yeah, definitely. Like a European team benefits the most from it being on the East Coast. Any North or South American team benefits the most from that. I mean, heck, even any African team for the most part benefits the most from that. So,
it's pretty much Japan that didn't.
And exactly. And Japan's out, and Korea's out.
Yeah.
And I know Australia's still in, but we'll see what they do in their knockaround game. But yeah, like the East Coast, it makes sense so much from that perspective as well. And New York's our biggest city, so that makes sense there. That's all. But anything else?
City in the world.
Woo. Let's burn this mother to ground. Anything else before we move on to our 3 strikes?
No. I'm good.
All right, hit the button. All right, boy, do you want strike 1? You know what? I'll take strike 1. You can do the second one. Yeah. All right. So,
sure? All right.
Yes. I'm sure. You son of a bitch.
There you go.
Nope. What do you want to?
No,
I'll go.
Okay. Me, you, me, you.
It's like when you go to fist bump or high five, and then you just give the turkey, the turkey, right? Yes, I will give the first strike here. I'm going to the Women's PGA Championship, the LPGA. So, Hye-Ran Yu secured her first major title and became the 6th South Korean to win this event in the last 12 times they've competed it. So think about that. The last 12 women's PGA championships, 6 of the victors have been from South Korea, which is kind of wild.
Wait, so where is this event?
This one took place at Hazeltine National Golf Club in Minnesota.
Minnesota, right? Minnesota.
This is the PGA.
Why is it? Yeah, why is it that?
No, but it moves around, boy. Just like the men's PGA Championship moves around.
Oh yeah.
The women's one moves around. right? The women's U.S. Open moves around just like the men's. There's only like the Evian, I think, is always in the same place for the women, but same thing. They move them around. So that's just a random stat, boy. Hey, Ran Yu had a 2-shot victory over Ina Yoon. After an opening round 73, Yu found herself 10 shots back, right, after the first round, but played the final 3 rounds at 14 under, 6 shots better than any other golfer, to tie the largest opening round comeback in LPGA major history. Boy, $1 billion if you can tell me who was the other golfer to have a 10-shot comeback after the first round in a major.
Annika.
Now, it is Carol Mann at the 1964 Western Open. That's how absurd.
Carol. There is no Pepe Sylvia.
I got boxes full of Pepe. But yes, that shows how remarkable Hayran's achievement was here at Hazeltine. So good for her. Again, 2-shot victory after being 10 shots behind. I think she shot a final round 2 under as well to secure that. So good for her. Good for golf. Nelly kind of had a fairly disappointing. Obviously, it's disappointing when she doesn't win, right?
Yeah,
She's at the
run. She had a run in the last day. I saw her come into the leaderboard and then vanish.
Yeah, because she didn't set herself up for that. It's like Scotty at this point. If Scotty doesn't win the tournament, it's deemed a disappointment for him. She's on that level. But I believe Nelly has this championship in her bag. So I don't think this one goes towards her career Grand Slam. I think the Evian, which comes up at the end of July, I believe in France, she doesn't have yet. So that'll be on the lookout for that. And I think the women's British Open is also around that time as well. So she'll have more chances to add to her trophy case and her repertoire. But it was Hayran Yu's week in Hazeltine. Nice. Anything else before we get to your strike, boy?
Nope. Let's get to the next one.
Hit the button.
2.
It's 2.
What I'm gonna go with this week is the state of New York baseball. We all know the Mets suck.
Do they play baseball in that city anymore?
They used to, man. They used to. I don't know what happened, but the Yankees fell out of first place. They are 2-8 in their last 10, which is just god awful,
terrible.
And they're getting their ass kicked tonight, I believe. Let me check to see if that game's over yet.
I'm sure.
But Skubal was on the mound. It was 9-2 last I checked in the 8th inning. So.
Coming into play today, they were 1.5 games behind the Rays in first place. All the goodwill of Judge is gone, but hey, they're doing so well. The bullshit. You knew they'd come back to earth, right? I mean,
and it's not like they're like, it's not even just like coming back to earth. It's losing to the worst teams. You got a 4-game sweep of the Red Sox, or the Red Sox swept you in 4 games.
Yep.
And the Red Sox are god awful. They're still, after a 4-game
I know.
sweep,
they're still 12 back, right?
A game or a half game behind the Orioles.
Yes.
For last place in the AL East. That's hard to do.
Now I will.
And now they're getting their ass kicked by Detroit, who has a similar record to Boston.
Now I will say, right, again, this isn't trying to defend the Yankees at all, but the metrics on Boston said that they were better than their record indicated, right? So it's almost like they're due for
a 4-game sweep.
Correct. But they're due for some regression to the mean, that they go on some run here. And I'm sure there's probably a lot of metrics for the Yankees that said they're outperforming. Like there's no way their starting pitching could be and sustain how good they've been, because they've been phenomenal, right? And again, with the loss of Judge, it was like, oh, well, as long as the starting pitching is doing this, and we get enough offense here. But like Trent Grisham's hurt now, and Bellinger's gone in a slump, or a little mini slump, right? And yes, Goldschmidt's been on fire. Ben Rice has still been hitting.
Ben Rice has been really, really good, but you also, I'm sure he's benefited a lot from having protection.
Correct. And then you lose some of that protection, especially if some of your protection is Jazz Chisholm, who's Gonna sit there and take that reel that whoever you sent that of the guy playing the video game and takes a strike down the middle and Jazz just takes it and goes and
Yes.
challenges. I was almost crying because that's what it fucking feels like every time he's at bat, right? And again, I've said this before, right? To have a player like Jazz who's dynamic, right, in certain spots, but has peaks and valleys and has just one specific approach at the plate, you know, it could help you if you have one guy like that, right? But you have to have your rest of your team buttoned up, right? Which the Yankees don't. The Yankees still have too many guys like Volpe and Wells who are barely breaking the Mendoza line that you can't sustain having a Jazz in your lineup, especially with your guys who are injured, where Jazz is supposed to be counted on as a producer. He's not a producer. He's a he's a complementary piece to a team that has the other pieces, right?
Worst thing that had to happen to Jazz was this ABS system, and now he has to challenge things. This has been his problem because he's been awful this year.
Yeah,
I don't understand. Like, I mean, it feels like that was the biggest issue for him is that he came in thinking that he has a better eye or thinking he's better than he actually is, and I was getting exposed, and it's almost like trying to flip it the other way. Like now I need to try harder, but not look like I'm trying hard. I don't know.
But his issue has always been, again, it's the approach, right? If you have a guy who he's purposefully taking pitches that he knows are close, right? For the fact that I can't hit this ball out of the ballpark, and that he'll sometimes sit on certain pitches, or like sometimes it looks like he predetermines if he's going to swing at the pitch or not, right? So again, that approach can help if you have these other pieces in your lineup. The Yankees don't have that, especially without the injuries. I would argue the Yankees don't have the correct pieces to allow someone with his approach to be in the lineup to get you to score runs, right? I mean, we're seeing their run production is so minimal at this point without Judge, and their starting pitching it's still been good, right? But again, some regression. I mean, they're not going to shut out every team every time, right? So you have to be able to win a game 5-4, and they can't. If the Yankees put up 5 runs in a game in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be a miracle, right? And that's not sustainable, right? It's just not. So that the Judge injury, as much as it got attention and then it kind of like died down because they were still playing well, it's still the biggest issue for that team. And we've said it before, they rely too much on him because he's so goddamn good. Like when things like this, right, just show how good Aaron Judge is. Like how Hall of Fame, all-time great Aaron Judge is, because they still have struggled to put the correct team around him. Like a team should be able to withstand an injury and not suck. Like I'm not saying they should go out there and win 9 out of 10 games,
especially
right?
in baseball. Especially in baseball,
they should just be able to weather the storm and go 500.
Correct. Where one person shouldn't mean this much, because I mean the Angels had Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani on the same team for multiple years.
Couldn't even make the fucking playoffs.
Finished last, yeah.
Yes,
they were awful. So in a sport like baseball, that should help, but it also shows you the intangibles that Judge has, where it's like it's also a leadership position. To kind of raises the bar of everyone else, like a Tim Tebow, Derek Jeter type, right? You raise the level of play of everyone around you. Yeah, that's also like something you can't really quantify.
Correct.
So
correct. And
yeah, I mean, also going to Queens out here, the other borough.
Is that still part of New York? They haven't cut them off yet.
Not to be outdone, they've gone 1-9 in their last 10.
Fired their manager.
Fired their manager, and one of my favorite like Instagram followers, Mike Dodino, just recording the Mets just like blunders and shouting at it. It resonates so much with us because we understand the New York fan base and where they're from and everything that goes with it. So the fact that
And the fact that he's not the only one doing it, right? For people who would be from the outside looking at it, be like, "Oh, this is crazy," but it's like I said, we
No,
understand.
he's just recording it.
He's just recording it. There are many, 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 many other people doing the exact same thing as he is, and that's why it's funny.
The George Springer inside the park home run
So good
last night absolutely destroyed me because it should be a single.
Yes.
Or an out, honestly, or an out. And Juan Soto misplays it so bad and then lollygags after it. And then the center fielder picks up the ball and just boots it.
He picks the damn ball up with his glove like a fucking 6-year-old. Like that's the funniest part to me. The Soto stuff,
it's yelling at Soto, and I'm like, oh my god, Soto again, that's crazy. And then just seeing the center fielder boot the ball with his glove.
Yes.
I lost it, and I was like, it's so comical and so hilarious that like this is happening in a major league game, and it's not happening. Like he's done like 50 videos already on this. Like it's not like this is happening once every 4 months or whatever. This is happening like once a week.
Did you see the game? I think it was last week. They committed 6 errors and they lost to the Cubs by like a couple runs, and
tied the most errors in a game, I think, like ever or something, or the last like
40
era, whatever. I think the Cubs had 6 errors in like 2012 or something.
Yeah, all 4 infielders had at least 1 error. The last time the Mets did that, actually might be the last time it ever happened, was the Mets in '62. Like the expansion, like it literally. Like some of them were like, okay, you could see how this error happened. Others were just straight up inexcusable. There were some.
Smile. There's Mr. Smile, like $400 million shortstop.
But even that's not even counting some of the what you might consider misplays in the outfield.
Yeah.
Right. Like Benj had a couple where you could say he probably should have caught that, but when you're the rule, like watching, you're like, okay, that's a double, but you'd be like. He also probably should have caught that. So they could have had they could have had close to double-digit errors in that one game.
They are the most like, okay, someone bought this team, right? This like unbelievable payroll, stacked them all together, and said like, oh, just go play baseball. You're talented enough to win. Just go play, and like they just don't care. And I don't feel like they. I want to know what like the spring training was or the.
But boy, I
the locker room or whatever it is, but they just don't seem to give a shit.
I would say they don't have that much talent. In my opinion, they have less talent on this team this year than they did last year.
They certainly paid a lot of money.
They're already. I mean, they're on the hook. For all that. It's a lot of stuff that they're going to be paying for that forever. That's part of it. But yeah, I would say they have less talent this year than they did last year. The guy that they took a shot at some things, it didn't work out. Here's the first pitch and the season is over. Basically, the old Family Guy thing. They're terrible. They need to sell as much.
It's honestly something I will turn them on, like turn on the TV.
Oh yeah, just to get a good laugh. Yeah, to get a good laugh.
Just to get a laugh and be like, this is a Major League Baseball team.
Yes, especially because the other thing too is they have the best announcer, not the best, but
Hernandez.
Some of the best. Yes, Gary Cohen, Ron Darling, and Keith Hernandez are fantastic. The game I was watching when they made the 6 errors, they made a comment of like, "Thank God Keith isn't here today because he of the 11 Gold Gloves, most in history for a first baseman, would be just beside himself, and we'd have to like wheel him out." Thank God Keith isn't here. Yeah. But yes, it's a comedy of errors, as they say. It is I don't want to say disgraceful because we've seen too much of this before from the Mets. So it can't be disgraceful if this has happened a lot. But like you said, it is embarrassing. It is. I don't want to say borderline embarrassing. It's straight embarrassing, right?
Yes, so, I could not. I couldn't imagine being a Mets fan.
No, what do you do?
You're the laughing stock of baseball.
And it's deserved.
And you deserve it. And Juan Soto's
not the fans. The fans don't. The team.
The fans. The team
front office owners, the players, that they deserve it because it's. Obviously, the fans don't have anything to do with it, but yes, you're right. They deserve it because you watch some of this, and you're like, this is just. You guys
Juan
get paid.
Soto's
You
Juan
guys get
Soto's a
paid how
bum.
much?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I think about when the Nats won the World Series and kind of what happened, the players they had on that team and everything, and then everything just like I guess they couldn't afford to keep anyone, so
Yeah,
they just
some of that
shipped
I
them
think.
off.
Some of that I
I think
think
it's
was
bullshit too.
bullshit.
Yeah, I
Yes, I
don't.
agree.
Yeah, it kind of ridiculous.
There's no reason that you couldn't have kept 3 or 4 of those guys. You literally got rid of everyone.
I would. I mean,
But
Turner,
Strasburg,
Rendon, like, come on, you got to keep those
Soto,
guys.
yeah, Scherzer.
Yeah, but Soto, like that, like when he was a young dude and he was awesome, he was one of the best players in the world, just won a World Series, and then decided I'm going to live this like I guess superstar athlete life. Goes to San Diego, goes to the Yankees, decides not like doesn't want to be there, goes to the Mets. Like I didn't understand any of the moves he made.
Well,
Instead of just like
let's be before we go into that. He didn't have any decision making in being traded twice. Right? He got traded from the Nats to San Diego, gets traded from San Diego to the Yankees, right? But part of it, like I guess what you're alluding to, is he kind of forced the trade to San Diego, right?
yeah,
And the Padres decide, yeah, that you're right. As people who grew up and live in Nats territory, that did feel a little, I don't want to say disrespectful, but it felt a little like Bryce Harperish, like good riddance, get rid of you type of thing. Because they offered him just a fuck ton of money, and obviously, yes, he bet on it's supposed to be he bets on himself and all this stuff, but clearly it just shows that what are you playing for? Because you go to the Padres,
correct.
And yes, you do well, but he didn't play his best baseball in San Diego.
No, he did not.
But then he goes to the Yankees. Once he got to the Yankees, he looked like the Juan Soto. And he was playing like it too. Like you saw the energy. Like that year at the Yankees was phenomenal. It was just like watching him back with the Nats. And then right. I think the biggest thing is then he decides I'm just going to go cross town for just the biggest bucket of money, and that's what it looks like he's playing now.
Correct. That's what to me that was like when he did that. It was like he doesn't care about winning anymore. Yes. All he cares about is I have this money. And I can just kind of relax and
I'm good enough
and play.
Because his offensive
I'm good enough to hit 280, 35, and 90. I mean, it's going to keep me.
His numbers are still better than that, even right now. Like last year, didn't he steal 40 bases? He's like on. He stole a shit ton of bases last year. And the funny thing too is they track sprint speed or whatever, right? And he has like the slowest or second slowest sprint speed, but some of that too is that he's not ever fully running out ground balls. So when they track it, he's not busting his ass to get there. So it's not a true measure of his average sprint speed.
300. He's hitting 300 with 17 home runs.
Yes. His on base is probably like 420.
Yeah, what's it on base? Yeah, on base percentage is 408, OPS 971.
Which is absurd.
I mean, his career OPS is 950. Like, that's the thing is that he has a chance to be one of the best hitters
ever
to play the game.
Yes.
I mean, and it's just like I don't want to root for him anymore. I used to love this guy.
Yes, I did too.
And that's what like bothers me a lot about him. Yeah, he stole 38 bags last year and only got caught stealing 4 times.
Yes.
He had 263 with 43 and 105. It's really good. And the year with the Yankees, 288, 41, and 109.
Yes.
Like I just watching him like come up as like a teenager with the Nats and just tear it up. And I was like, I loved his approach. I loved all of it.
Oh, all of it.
I actually remember watching him in the Futures game. Like that's how much I remember Juan Soto was watching him in the Futures game and watching his approach and go, why don't more people do this? Because he has 2 different stances.
Yes.
Right? He has a stance until he get like his stance to hit home runs, and then he gets the 2 strikes and he shortens it up.
And he can still hit home runs. Yes.
Correct. And so
all fields.
Yeah, and I was like, I remember watching him in that Futures game and going, I love this hitter. I love this approach. And it was like, oh, the Nats have this guy. Let's go. And they win the World Series. I love him. And then he just like I can't stand watching him. Now I'm literally watching to laugh at him
Well,
playing defense.
well, yeah, because it feels like you went from watching someone who is playing for the love of the game to now someone who's playing for the paycheck and the name on the back.
Yeah. Right.
Again, he's still a great player. He's still going to go down
He's still
as
only like
one of
26 years old or something.
yeah,
Or
but
whatever he is.
it's and again, his contract is so goddamn long that
27.
he still has so much time to correct these things. And hell, 5 years from now, maybe the Mets win like back-to-back titles, and right, and all this is moot. But you're right. I think so much of the issue with the Mets right now may just be you clean house. Like they tried an experiment of getting rid of guys like, oh, we didn't win with Nimmo, we didn't win with Alonso, so we'll get rid of those guys, right? And see what we can do. I think at this point, if they don't rip off like 5, 6, 7, 8 straight before the All-Star break, that you just start cleaning house and you keep the assets that are the most valuable, your Lindors, your Sotos.
Is
But
Lindor valuable still?
He is. But and then you just scrap everyone else, and you try to collect assets. You try to set yourself up for like, oh, hey, we might trade this guy for X these prospects or whatever. You try to set yourself up for something to grow in the future, because at this point with their roster, it's not constructed to win anything at all. It's terrible.
Lindor, by the way, is another one that I loved watching in Cleveland. Absolutely love the guy.
Yeah.
And then goes to the Mets, and like I just feel like he's had some decent years, but it's almost like he became irrelevant going to the bigger market, which feels weird. But maybe it's because I watched more American League games. I don't know, but like he was the best player on the Cleveland squad for a while.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That always felt odd to me when he went to the Mets.
But again, we said it, I think, last week or the week before, that there's kind of a reason that Cleveland kept Jose Ramirez and shipped Francisco Lindor out.
Yes,
and I think we're seeing
who do they have as a short. Is it Rocchio? No, who is their shortstop? Cleveland.
I forget.
He's really, really good defensively. And it's like he fits exactly what Cleveland wants to do.
Yeah. So you're right. The Mets are a mess. My entire team sucks. METS is essentially what they are. I really do think they're you hate to throw in the towel on a season, right? Especially with the number of wild card teams that we have now. And like, hey, if I go on this 2-3 week run in August, we got a shot, right? But at this point, how many more? Like you said, how many more times do we have to see them look like a laughing stock before you just go, you know what? This experiment,
sell the team.
It didn't work. It didn't work. We need to find some solutions.
Steve Cohen, sell the team.
Because again, what I'm saying, the other issue too is, you could totally see them going out and like shipping some of these guys off for other guys of their ilk. Like trading Marcus Simeon.
Yes, it's exactly what they'd probably go get Fernando Tatis Jr. Who
and it's like that's not going to fix it. That's putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. That's again just trying to throw darts at the wall and see what sticks. Right. That's not what's going to help. Right.
Well, they need a little George Costanza head of scouting.
Yes, they do.
Clearly, their scouting department stinks.
How was the meeting? There was no meeting.
There wasn't, but it was a hell of a meeting.
Meet the Mets, greet the Mets, and beat the Mets. I don't know. I fucked that up. But whatever, it's the Mets, right? But yeah, the Mets, as critical as I have been of the Yankees, because I do think what I've said for the last number of years is legitimately valid, that there's too many guys with too much of the same approaches, too many contracts that can't be moved, that don't produce or not giving you return on investment like Giancarlo, right? Those are all valid things. And I'm sure many people in the Yankees front office are aware of that. Obviously, like if a schmuck like me can see this, not even getting to watch every game, I'm 100% they see a lot of that, right? But as critical as I've been, the Mets have almost defied logic in some of these things, right? Racked up the biggest payroll in the sport, besides like the Dodgers, who actually win and develop talent and are good, right? So
I mean, shit. We saw the Dodgers last week while we were doing this do a suicide squeeze.
I
The
don't think
highest
there's
payroll.
I don't think there's a single player on the Mets that could lay down a successful sacrifice bunt. So
I don't think so either.
Right, and that almost in lies the biggest problem. Because to be honest, I think there's a couple guys in the Yankees that could. Right, I bet I could see Rosario being able to, Caballero. I could see him being able to. You know, I could even see Ryan McMahon having a chance of getting one down.
I think Ryan McMahon could.
But I don't see anyone on the Mets. You see Francisco Alvarez being able to bunt the ball?
No.
No. What? Any of these guys, Lindor, Bichette, Soto, do you think they could get the ball down?
I don't think Bichette has ever bunted in his life.
Yeah, you're right. I don't even think he would know what to do with the ball, with the bat.
Yeah, he like bunt. What are you talking about? You mean swing as hard as I can? Shit. There's another player that should be really, really good.
He's turned it on of late, but still his numbers are. His OPS, I think, is still at like around 700, even below that, which is not good for a player of his caliber.
Right.
But again, like we said, the Mets went, oh, this guy's never played third base in his life. They just throw him there. Go to third. like we're in fucking Little League. Go to third. You'll still hit, 700 with 15 home runs like we're in Little League, and it's just not how shit works. It's not. And we brought it up before, right? When the Yankees tried to do this shit with Gleyber Torres, moved him from second to short, essentially like ruined his career. The dude was hitting 30 to 40 bombs at second base. Harold Reynolds, the great Harold Reynolds, said, if this guy plays his whole career at second base and doesn't move, he will be a Hall of Fame second baseman. What the Yankees do, try to get cute. Try to get cute, like the Mets have tried to right here. Moved him to short. I don't even know if he broke 20 home runs that year.
I think their front office is playing too much MLB The Show.
Seriously, that is what you would do in MLB The Show.
Yeah,
it says here he could play that, so we'll move him here. It's the shit you do in the video game, and I don't want to hear the crap of, well, we looked at their range metrics and his defensive metrics said that it should translate here. That's not how that
I can't deal
works.
With metrics. I can't deal with metrics and shit, like especially defensively. I can't do it. It becomes too much. Like Jorge Posada was on talking about this before. He's like, I think it was the other day, talking about how he hates when people bring up Derek Jeter's like defensive metrics. He's like, these are just nerds bringing in metrics. He's like, they can't begin to understand what Derek Jeter and what his defense did for us and how good he was in like the situations, his leadership, all these different things. Like metrics don't do that shit. It's like you have to watch the game and play the game, like about how great Jeter was as like a shortstop.
Yes.
Like,
I mean,
stop with the metric shit.
Even Posada himself, right, was always like, oh, well, he's not a good catcher and this. And then even on the flip side, that the metrics have been like, actually, he was a decent defensive catcher. The same thing with Mike Piazza. But everyone's like, oh, they stink. Evan Gattis, my boy Evan Gattis, his defensive metrics are like league average, but yet it was looked upon as this, right? And so it's one of those things where, at some point you have to do a mix, right? To judge Derek Jeter's defensive career cannot just be looking at his metrics, right? To make a decision based on let's play Bo Bichette at third base cannot be based on just metrics of, oh, well, his range data at short and second say this.
Again,
his arm strength says that.
I don't think they did anything in spring training or whatever it is, like fielding the ball, being a shortstop, like fielding the ball at the shortstop position versus the third base position is so night and day different. The way the ball comes off the bat your timing, the way you get your jumps, like
how your footwork, you're just
how
getting
your
your feet
footwork
set,
is, like where
retrieving the
because I also guarantee his positioning is all over the place, and he has no idea kind of where to stand, like as like your base defense, right? Like where do I stand as my base defense? And that was always something like if I ever, like when I got put to third, it was like yeah I can feel the ball, like I was a really good fielder, especially playing short. But like if I played third base in a game, I'm like oh shit, like am I playing up? Am I playing back? Am I in the middle? Like where should I be playing right now?
and is your perception of up and back what
It's
actually up
different.
and
Yeah,
back is?
exactly.
You
Right.
know, like because yes, you're
I
exactly
had a
right.
spot at short. I had a spot at short where I knew exactly. Like I would look behind me at the outfield cutoff. I'm like, okay, this is exactly where I'm gonna stand, and like I had like a range of like 2 to 3 steps on each side. Like, all right, I'm comfortable in this section, right? And then you go to third, and you're like, oh shit, like it all of a sudden the dirt that you're in is a lot deeper, it's a lot different, and you
Yeah.
don't know like it's. I can guarantee you he's had issues with that. It's a visual thing. It's a feel thing.
Yes.
I can guarantee he's had
Because the other thing that people would say to bring up to be devil's advocate is, well, Cal Ripken did it. Alex Rodriguez.
yes.
Alex
Very
Rodriguez did it.
some people can do it. Some people can do it. Other people can't. And
Correct.
it's also like you also have like more years of doing it. You get Bo Bichette playing third base every day in 2 years. I'm sure he's going to be fine. But and I'm sure he'll be able to. He could flip back to short for a game or whatever. And there are utility guys that can play all around and do all that stuff. But when you're just your shortstop forever, and then you get asked to play third, it's a little different. There are visuals that are different.
Correct. And again, this is a guy who's never played it at this level or done it. And I mean, just gone the opposite way. Manny Machado. Remember when he went to the Dodgers and all the shortstop crap? But he was
Yep.
he was not a good shortstop. But
No,
the
he's
dude
not.
is one of the greatest third basemen in the history of baseball, offensively and defensively. He truly is. Like when it's all said and done, right? So again, this is the elite, like the most elite
Yes.
that we're seeing
Correct.
here. And Cal Ripken Jr. as well was one of the greatest defensive shortstops that he doesn't always get the credit for. One of the greatest defensive shortstops ever. And right, so you're talking about the greatest guys defensively still having hiccups. Bo Bichette defensively has not, you know,
I mean, literally, the
out.
way you field the ball is different.
Yes.
There are so many different things because I remember Manny Machado going to short and him like running up on the ball and fielding it like fielding a lot of balls one handed. I remember him doing that, and I was like, why is he doing this so much? And it was just because he felt he needed to because of the distance the ball is traveling to him at short versus the distance at third, right? So I'm watching him like charge balls too hard and do things that are like completely out of his character. And like that's a very good point. I forgot he played short until you said that. I was like, oh my god, yeah, he was not good at short.
No, it was terrible. But again, he's one of the greatest
The
third
best,
basemen
like, yeah, one of the best defensive third basemen.
ever. Right?
Yeah.
It's just
I mean, the highlight. Go YouTube his highlight reel at third base. It's
some of the throws where he's like
disgusting.
6 feet into foul territory and
Yeah.
throws it right here for the first baseman to catch. Yeah, it's insane. So I get it, right? You won't know what you have until you try it. But at the same time, again, the infrastructure is not there for you to try these things, right? Think about when the A-Rod went to the Yankees and switched from short to third. Think about everyone on the freaking Yankees. It starts with Jeter right at the top. You have the leadership infrastructure and support system there all the way down through all their players, coaches, Joe Torre's your manager, right? You have all of that so that when there are hiccups or things, you can adjust. And Cal Ripken, when he made the switch, yeah, the Orioles were in decline, but they still had. I mean, they went Mike Bordick is who came in at shortstop. Mike Bordick was a fantastic defender at shortstop, right? Fantastic defender. You still had the Orioles still had a lot of really good players on those teams, as much as they may have sucked at times, right? So you still had things in place. The Mets have none of this. They're just throwing shit at a wall and seeing what
Yeah.
sticks. So you're putting your players in a position of failure. You're not setting them up to succeed. You're not setting the rest of the team up to succeed, and you're seeing the result of that. And like I said, I think their biggest thing is going to be this trade deadline for them. They, what do they do if they don't make big moves and get rid of a lot of guys and bring in assets, whether it is, maybe an overlooked player here or, just something. If they sit here and try to, like we were said, do like some swap of like, oh, well, we'll trade, this guy for this other guy, and you're stuck with the same 34-year-old position player who's past his prime, it's worthless, right? But if they're able to accrue some assets, because the other thing too is the guys that they brought up really have not looked that great. From your Mark Vientos, Francisco Alvarez, Brett Beatty's of the world, haven't done much offensively that you need, right? Or haven't done enough. Let me say that, right? And then pitching wise, they've you have had some bright spots in Nolan McLean, right? And they had some guys come up last year who, threw the ball lights out. But like Jonah Tong, I believe, was one of the guys. I feel like I really haven't seen them. They stayed down in the minors or whatever. Clay Holmes has been pretty good. I'll give them that. They bet on that and that worked. But everything else, like you lost Edwin Diaz. Your bullpen is garbage. It's like you don't have the pieces to compete. You straight up don't. So you need to make some decisions. They've, the lame duck Carlos Mendoza, is going to happen, but it's almost like, what's the point? Like that's not like that's going to fix things.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That was the reason. Come on, like
okay, I'm going.
Yeah. That's, I mean, maybe what that really was probably, like I said, they need to go on a run here in the next couple of weeks, and if they don't, they're done. That was probably their desperation, Hail Mary. See if we can go on a run here. Let's see if it sparks it, like, the Knights getting Tortorella in there to light a fire under them. And then, like I said, trade deadline, it's going to be huge for the Mets. Maybe more so than any other team in the league, to be honest. Anything else before we move on to our third strike?
No. Let's go to the third strike.
Hit the button. All right. Third strike going to take us to the Travelers Championship, one of the signature events on the PGA Tour, taking place, I believe, TPC River Highlands in Cromwell, Connecticut. You have to double check me on that. After play was suspended Sunday evening due to darkness, Victor Hovland defeated Scotty Scheffler on the first playoff hole Monday morning to win the Travelers Championship. It was Hovland's 8th victory on the PGA Tour. Scotty's 4th runner-up finish this year, which is interesting.
I was just about to say that. He keeps finishing second.
Yes.
And it's like he's the best player in the world. And it's like, oh my gosh, he's just finishing second all these. You're like, it's kind of amazing that he's still that good to just be there every week. And you're like, oh well, there's Scotty again.
Again, yes,
right there, and you just keep waiting for him to win. It's like, God, he's just missing.
Yes, well, he on the 72nd hole on Sunday, he had to make an 8-foot par putt just to force the playoff, and it was a straight darkness. Like, it was one of those things where when you watch it on TV, you go, oh, they can see, but the stuff they're able to do with the lens on the camera, it's like, oh no, no one can see a damn thing. So he sinks that putt to force the playoff, but then on the first playoff hole, Hovland makes his 7-footer, it's just sneaks, right, just slide, and it just snuck right in the edge. His 7-foot birdie putt, and Scotty straight up, almost shanked the putt for his 4-foot birdie that would have extended the playoff. So that's what gave Hovland the victory. And Hovland celebrated the best way that you can as a Norwegian. Went and did the Viking row with all the Norwegian supporters who were there, which is pretty awesome.
I love that they were there. I thought that was so cool.
I think his parents were there too, and I think it's the first time they've ever seen him win and stuff.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah, so very cool in a lot of ways. The Norwegian row is awesome, right? I love that, like you said, I love that everyone wants to join in. I want to do it. Heck,
Yeah,
I want to get
absolutely. Everybody's
I want to
doing
get
it.
a group of just regular schmucks, Americans, to go do it. It sounds awesome. Uh, I hope that wouldn't be disrespectful to the
Where
Norwegians,
were
but
the Norwegians coming from? Were they coming from Boston or New York for that?
I
Because they
think
were there.
no, it's Boston because if you noticed on our Instagram, I posted a reel and that was from
Oh
their
yes,
game
yep.
against France in Boston Stadium, better known as what boy?
Foxborough,
Gillette Stadium.
Gillette,
Good.
Gillette. Well, I don't know
In
why you didn't say
Foxborough.
Foxborough.
No, because they call it Boston Stadium. That's what the World Cup has called it. They don't.
Yeah, they don't call it Foxborough Stadium.
No, it's called Boston Stadium. Who the fuck knows what Foxborough is? Just a little town that's whatever miles inland from Boston. No, it's called Boston Stadium by the World Cup. But yeah, that's where they were coming from. I don't know. Gosh, I don't know where Norway played today when they beat Cote d'Ivoire. I don't know where that was. But I'm sure that's where they were heading right after they watched Hovland. But yeah, good for Hovland, especially right. Hovland's always had so much of the talent in the world. For a long time, it was like, when is he going to break through and win? And he finally did. Won the FedEx Cup a couple years ago, but then it seemed like he went through a
He's
whole
like, yes,
whole
like
year.
changed his swing.
Yes, where it
did
was
all these
like,
different
what
things,
is happening? And now it looks like, okay, this is a guy for the last major, the Open Championship, who is a real threat to win that championship.
Yeah.
So
that they played in Jerry World, which can't call it AT&T Stadium. It's Dallas Stadium.
Correct. That is what they called it. Yes. Very good. All right. Anything else before we move on to our favorites?
Nope. Let's get it.
That's going to take us to our favorites segment, brought to you as always by One Legacy Title and Escrow. Visit them at onelegacyflorida.com and follow them on Instagram at onelegacyflorida to see how they can help you with your next house closing. One Legacy Title and Escrow, because your legacy matters. And this week, we try to do something fairly American themed, because coming up this Saturday will be the 250th anniversary of America's Independence Day, or July 4th. That's always the dumb question you ask, like, Americans. Do they have July 4th in England? And they go, oh no. It's like, well, yeah, they do. Everyone has a July 4th. No, they don't just skip the calendar. We just call it our Independence Day. For the rest of the world, it's just July 4th, whatever year, right? So that's always the dumb question. But yes, this coming
Today
weekend,
we celebrate our Independence Day.
And yes, that's why
that movie was on this weekend.
Well,
I'm sure it's going to be on again next weekend.
It's mandatory. Mandatory. I actually had a list. I started some list of movies to watch, and it's very incomplete. But movies to watch for the 250th anniversary of America. I have Top Gun,
The Patriot.
The Patriot was literally the next one there. Rocky IV, Captain America, Miracle, and Independence Day.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good list.
And I know
you should make a graphic of that.
I know I'm missing some too. I wanted a longer list, but I know I'm missing some. But
there's obviously like some war movies, I'm sure that.
But see, I wanted to try to stay away from that, because not that, again, we don't appreciate, we live in the land of the free because of the brave, right? We obviously are well aware of that and appreciate that, especially on the show where all of us are offspring of.
But you want it to be
veterans.
4th of July themed.
No, because
Sandlot.
Well, no, because the way I see it, though, right, a war movie is not, a definitively like an American thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, just because this is a battle and we see America triumph over and and win in it. Okay, yes, it's great, but yes, war is not always the best thing to celebrate, but it's also something that has happened forever. It's not uniquely American, if that makes sense.
No, it's the Nick Fury quote to Stark. Like, you've invented a lot of things. War isn't one of them.
Yeah. Right. So that that's kind of why that list is the way it is, right? Where the only war, like the first Top Gun, you could do Top Gun 1, Top Gun 2, right? But the first Top Gun, yeah, there's some war, but it's more about, the story of them and all that stuff, right? And the Patriot, though, that's the war for independence, so that's why that fits there. And Independence Day is, the hypothetical war against the aliens for all of Earth, for all of mankind, right? So that it's different than just like saying like, a Saving Private Ryan, right? Which yes, obviously would fit in his celebration of the American spirit and sacrifice, right? But I that's why I tried to like stay away, because you could rattle off like a gajillion movies about valor of American bravery,
Yeah, yeah.
And again, valid and worth celebrating. But that's why that rudimentary list was devoid of those, because I, like you just said, we didn't invent war, we didn't invent independence, but so what's distinctly American is these stories that are just about like America, right, and the
Yeah.
American mindset.
Rocky Four.
That's why Rocky 4. That's why I didn't put like Rocky 1, 2, 3. I put Rocky 4 because that represents that Cold War struggle, America
I think
capitalism.
Sandlot probably needs to go on that.
Really? Why?
I mean, they literally have a scene of like, we play on the 4th of July. We were able to play because the fireworks light up the sky.
That's a good point.
It's one of the more like uniquely American things.
Yeah,
Like,
I buy
baseball
that.
movie about kids playing. Like,
Yeah, I mean that's, dude. Like, the story about the hand grenade.
Yes, they changed the shape of it because they said every young
and the
man
weight.
should be able to throw a baseball.
Yeah,
So they made it
every
exactly like a baseball.
every young American man is able to throw a baseball. So we're gonna make the grenade as much like a baseball as we can.
Genius, absolutely love it.
Yes. So yeah, no, I buy that. But so after our large digression, here our favorites this week were our favorite national parks, because that is a celebration also of the beauty of America, right? In national
Yes.
parks, yeah, they, I'm sure every other country in the world has things like this where they protect, right?
They
But
do.
not,
Yes.
and I'm sure there's also many countries that don't care. But I feel like the U.S., especially when you got to Teddy Roosevelt, who's the one who
Yes, he is the one that did
developed it, came up with it. It is a very, it's a celebration of America and all the expanse of it that we get to enjoy and have here. So, one of my favorite national parks this week. Boy, would you like to start?
I would love to. So, my top 5 are all places that I have been. My
You've been to
honorable
5?
mention.
I think I've
I've
only
been
been
to
to
more than-
one of these.
I've been to more than 5, actually. The honorable mention, though, is a place that I want to go, and the reason why I picked this one is because it's drivable, and it's a place that I will be going to. I have to think within 5 years, hopefully. New River Gorge is America's newest national park. It's in West Virginia. The New River, ironically, is one of the oldest rivers in the country. I think it is the oldest river in the country. But New River Gorge in West Virginia, uh, that's on my list as an honorable mention because I need to go there and it's drivable. So we'll end up going there. Number 5, Shenandoah, also in Appalachia. It's a place that we've been to.
Does that count as Appalachia though? Isn't Appalachia more like the region? It's in the Appalachian Mountains.
It's in the Appalachian Mountains.
That's not in
Yes, it's in the
Appalachia, though.
Appalachian Mountains. It's in the Blue Ridge.
Yeah. Right.
Which
That's
I guess is technically a different mountain chain than the Appalachians. They all kind of make it.
but Appalachia is its own, like, the
region.
people of that specific region is like the Kentucky,
the
West Virginia.
Yeah, there's the Appalachian Mountains, and then the people inside that region are from Appalachia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Shenandoah doesn't count as that. It's in the Blue Ridge. It's the Skyline Drive runs through the Blue Ridge Parkway. Uh, it's awesome. It's beautiful. Get to JMU is near there, so which is always fun. Um, so Shenandoah National Park, great views for East Coast people. Let's say that because you get beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains there. Number 4, the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Something that obviously you can only see if you go to Hawaii and go to the Big Island, and it's really cool because it's typically always active. It's basically always spewing lava into the ocean. Unfortunately, when we went, it like wasn't erupting, so we didn't get to see anything like that. But really cool. I mean, it's anytime you're in Hawaii, it's pretty nice. It's pretty special. So Hawaii,
boy, for the viewers and listeners, you said it's always active. What type of
that
volcanoes
is
are you
a
seeing?
shield. That is a shield volcano,
And
which are
it
the like one of the larger volcanoes. It's not violent. Okay, so
okay.
it's not like Mount Vesuvius or Mount St. Helens. Very, very different. It gradually basically spews lava, and it's
Like
what created the Hawaiian chain.
flows. Yeah.
So there's a hot spot in the Pacific Ocean, literally in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. There's a hot spot that creates these volcanoes. They spew lava, liquid hot magma that becomes
Thank
lava
you.
that then cools and hardens and becomes land. So that is what has created the Hawaiian chain as the hot spot stays there and the plates move over. Basically, you get these different chains. So the youngest are the biggest. So the big island is the youngest island. And there is another island coming that will be there in another few thousand years because there's more volcanoes. It will always continue,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. Number 3, the Grand Canyon. And we were talking about this earlier before the show about how high the elevation is of the
Mhm.
Grand Canyon. That is something that I don't think a lot of people understand. It's about I think it's over 7,000 feet at the north rim, and like 6,500 or so at the south rim, which is pretty remarkable.
I mean,
Um,
for again, for those who don't love numbers, that's well over a mile high.
yes, 7,000 is like a mile and a half, which is crazy. So the Grand Canyon, if you've never seen it, it's absolutely worth it. And it's kind of one of those things where I thought, is it going to be like overhyped? And all I did was do the geological time walk, which they literally walk you through all the different layers of rock, but you're just walking across the rim, and it's
I love a good rim
unbelievable.
job. Oh,
Yes, it's unbelievable the views, and you can see the layers and the canyons, and it literally takes your breath away. Like it's that Parks and Rec where like they go to the Grand Canyon, and April's like, I'm trying to find words to make fun of this, and I can't.
well,
Like that's how it feels.
doesn't Ron Swanson's Pyramid of Greatness? He's like crying,
Yes,
acceptable only
only
at
acceptable.
funerals and the Grand Canyon.
Correct. Yes, it really is like a special thing when you go see it. You're like, I can't believe a place like this exists on Earth. Um,
Fish for sport only. Fish meat is practically a vegetable.
are the scissors broken in your house, son? Uh, Number 2, one of the most underrated national parks, I think, the Badlands of South Dakota. It's this soft sediment material, so like at any point it can just be like washed away, pretty much. It's really really soft. It's kind of wild to like walk. Like they have their little trails, and you're walking on, and you're basically just like eroding parts of the park. And you're like, this is so odd. Also, a ton of dinosaur fossils in there. Really, really cool, but it's very unique. That soft sediment is it's so unique, and like it's like glacial like outwash basically that created these weird badland formations. Like the Native Americans called it the Badlands, and it's stuck. And it like the sky mixed with that in South Dakota is such a cool visual. Probably should have had graphics for this, but the
Who has the
Badlands of
Who
South
has the
Dakota.
time? People without
Yeah,
children. That's who has the time.
exactly. Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
And my number 1, the OG Yellowstone. I believe that was the first national park that Teddy Roosevelt decreed.
I
Yellowstone National
thought so
Park
too.
is unreal. It's massive, absolutely massive. Like the scale of Yellowstone, you can't really fathom it. And by the way, almost the whole thing is a super volcano. So all those geysers that they have, like I forget how many geysers it is. It's something ridiculous, but all those geysers they have are literally steam vents from this massive super volcano. Where when that thing blows, that's the next extinctional level event. So that'll be fun.
It
We're actually
says
overdue for that.
it says here that it's home to over half of the world's hydrothermal features.
Yeah, okay, that's insane.
Over half. And
That's
also
insane.
says established in 1872, which would be well before Teddy Roosevelt's time as president. But it is the first national park. You're right.
It's the first national park. Yes, he's the one that officially made it a national park.
Signed into law by President Ulysses S. Grant in 1872.
Oh, really? I always thought it was Teddy.
Teddy Roosevelt was so involved in like preservation and
Conservation.
in conservation, yes, of these beautiful things in our country, knowing that this is makes a difference because it truly does. I thought the first one he did was up like in the Badlands. I thought that might have been the
No,
first
he
one.
has
Because he had like a
there's a Teddy Roosevelt
Well,
National Park.
yes.
It's in North Dakota,
okay. I knew it was because
not
he had
South
like
Dakota.
he had like hunting land or whatever
Yes.
up there, and I thought that was like the first one he did. But he was not the originator of national parks, but he's the one who I think the most like started.
Signed the most.
Yes, like you'd have to look up. I think Yosemite might have been during his tenure.
I did. Yeah, Yellowstone. I did keep off Tetons, and that's partly because they're right below Yellowstone. It's almost like you can count those in as the same. I mean, if you go to Yellowstone, you're going to go to the Tetons, basically, and vice versa. You're not going to just pick one or the other. They're right next to each other. So that's why I left off the Tetons, and I left off Yosemite, and I think we've been to Sequoia as well.
We have been to
I left those
Sequoia.
off. Yeah, I left those ones off. Yosemite is really, really cool, but I like these ones better. And Yellowstone, the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone, the waterfall that's there, the picture you get with that is so cool. Like that, it's just such a unique park. It does smell like rotten eggs because of all the sulfur. So beware of that. The mud pots and everything are kind of ugly, but there's a lot of beauty in that park. So that's my list. I'm sticking to it.
I like it. So I have two honorable mentions. Again, just because you've been to more than I have. I have, you rattled off one that I didn't even realize. I forgot we went to Sequoia and went through that. But Glacier National Park up in Montana, I've always said that looks really cool. I've heard
I want to go there.
a lot of things. It's like some of the most beautiful stuff you'll see because like you talk about the uniqueness, right? It is rather unique in its creation.
They have like rainbow rocks, like the pebbles in the lake at the Glacier National Park are like rainbow colored because of the minerals in it, and the water's so clear, and the way the sun hits and everything. It's like the pictures of it look so cool.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, again, that one I think would be really cool to go to. Other honorable mention is Grand Teton, mostly because it means
French for
big titties.
Yeah.
Because it's just two big titties of the mountains there. That's the only reason that's there, just for that.
The French have a way of naming things.
Yes, they do. Number 5 would be the Great Smoky Mountains. I do think that is really cool. It just because it all the way to the fact that Tennessee's University of Tennessee's mascot is Smokey, right? The dog. We talk about uniqueness, right? Is this kind of what defines a national park? Is there's uniqueness, things you're not going to see everywhere. That's not something you see everywhere. Not every mountain range or even like elevated range is gonna it's always smoky. I feel like it always has that haze, and that's pretty cool. It's one of those things I feel like if you woke up every day and you saw that, you'd be like, okay,
Yeah. Dollywood's over there.
I feel good about things. Number 4, Yosemite, mostly because we went there. uh, El Capitan, right? Half Dome, the big rock formations, cool, right?
Yeah, it's a granite monolith.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Thank you.
Just a big hunk of granite.
Yes, but yeah, I mean, it's a cool park. Like no, I'm. It's weird to say I wasn't blown away by it, but maybe we just weren't old enough to fully appreciate
I don't
it.
think we're. I don't. That's.
But we were
I
also
don't
in
think
high
we're old
school,
enough
though,
to.
so you're still old enough to appreciate things. I just felt like you brought up the other ones on the list. If I went there, I'd be like, okay, like yes, Yosemite's pretty sweet, but these things are fucking nuts, right? Which brings to number 3 is Grand Canyon. I've never been to the Grand Canyon, but what you said, boy, echoes what so many people have said about it, right? And so for that fact, right, that elevates it above a Yosemite, even though I've been to Yosemite. Is that if I
The
get
Grand Canyon, yeah, the Grand Canyon's so like you go there and you go, I can't believe it's this big. Like there's a reason why it's called Grand, and you just kind of like you can't wrap your mind around how big it is, and you're just looking upon it, and you're like, this doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
That's what's like so special about it, and like obviously the different layers of rock and like the beauty of it, but and how it formed and everything, but it's the sheer size of it that you go, what the hell?
Yeah, and again, I've never been there. I will at some point. I get there.
Yeah, you do the Sedona trip because Sedona, I'm kind of shocked Sedona wasn't there hasn't been a national park. There's so many state parks and everything, and that's one
Yeah.
where I'm surprised Sedona wasn't made into a national park.
Yeah, I'm sure there's all sorts of layers of bureaucratic red tape
Yeah,
crap.
right.
Leslie Nope stuff. But yeah, Grand Canyon number 3. Number 2, Shenandoah. It's in our own backyard, essentially, right? And you've ever driven, like you said, on the Blue Ridge Parkway, you've essentially been in that national park. It's beautiful, like you said, going up to JMU, Harrisonburg off 81. Get anywhere off of that, and it's a gorgeous area up there. It just
the Ray
not.
Caverns, right?
But yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Does that technically count as being in Shenandoah National Park? Because I know it's over there in that.
I believe Luray is in the national park.
Okay, because
Let me
like
see.
there's like a Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky, I believe, is a cavern, like Luray Caverns. So
Yeah, it's in the national park.
okay, but yeah, so Shenandoah, really cool to have in our backyard here in Virginia, essentially. So get that one at number 2. And number 1, like you said, boy, the OG, the original Yellowstone, like the most beautiful stretch. Like it has like all these things that just don't exist anywhere else. Like you said, with the not just the geysers, but the wildlife and all these things. And we brought up that Teddy Roosevelt a lot of times is synonymous with that, and he wasn't the one that signed it into law. But I believe one of the things too is when he became president, went out there and was like, "This is fucked. Like this is not what it's supposed to be. Like it was not in good shape." And I think that's one of the reasons he's synonymous with that is he wasn't one that started it, but like we said, he was so into preservation and conservation and all of these things with the parks. He went out there and was like, "We need to fix this," and had a lot of initiatives and things in place to make like revive Yellowstone because even back then it needed reviving, and it's still
And
like
they-
a work of progress almost. But like,
Yes,
like the wolf population,
Yeah, I
we
was gonna
know.
say they released the wolves. I think it was only like a family of wolves. I think it was like less than 10 or something that they released into Yellowstone, which again, massive park. And all of a sudden, after they released those wolves in the I think late 90s,
Yeah.
the populations of certain animals started decreasing and balancing out. It literally balanced out the ecosystem. Like these 10 wolves desperately needing a balancing out of the ecosystem. They did it. And I was like, holy shit, like that is so cool. I
Yes.
think There may have been one that was like still alive, like since they like released it. I was like, how is this possible? But yeah, those wolves like literally changed Yellowstone for
It's
the
it's
better,
it's
which
like
is
the
really cool.
it's like the opposite of what Scar did to the Pridelands when he overhunted with the hyenas.
Well, it's kind of like Thanos balancing out. Everything needs balancing.
Yeah, but how did Thanos just didn't work out because the
Did for a bit.
no people were upset about what they lost, not what they had
Yes,
gained, as you know. But
perfectly balanced as all things should be. Yeah, but also with Yellowstone, like it's in one of my favorite states, which is Wyoming,
mhm.
which
it
helps
is
too.
it does have a little bit in Idaho and Montana, I believe.
Yes, there is. It does leak into those, which is also hilarious. I don't know how Idaho and Montana like
Finagled that,
negotiated that
yeah.
one. Yeah, I was like, really, like it's such a weird way that it goes into those two. Uh, but yeah, the majority of it is in Wyoming. And if you ever go there, like I would, Cody, Wyoming, just east of Yellowstone, is really cool. And they have rodeos in the summer for like 30 days straight. There's
Awesome.
literally a month straight of rodeos there.
Yes.
And then you hop into the national park. It's awesome.
Yes. Do they serve beer at the national park? Because
You
I
can
will
buy beer and bring it in.
I will need beer after I'm at the rodeo
No, they
drinking.
don't. So, so there's a lot of Native Americans run the gift shops, and so like I was looking for shot glasses and stuff, and there's like certain like gift shops that you walk into and you don't know that it's a Native American run gift shop, and I'm like, oh, do you have shot glasses? The guy was like, go fuck yourself. I was like, whoops. I was like, my bad. I was like, dude. I was like, uh-oh. But you can. We drank in the Tetons because we just went through Yellowstone multiple days, but we stayed in the Tetons, and we got beer. Like we had one of the professors like when he got there, it was like his first night. He was like, "We're not drinking like at the campsite in the Tetons," and like everyone in our group was like, "Yes, we are," because we've been doing it the whole time in the Black Hills, and we're drinking here. And then he like
West
had to do
Virginia.
some research, and they were like, "Oh, that's right. People go to these campsites and get hammered." Like, duh. So
Yeah.
yes, you can drink in national
Out
parks
out here where we can make rash decisions based on fear.
because of the implication.
Yes. The implication would imply out there.
We literally had so in Tetons we were in a tent what was it, a tent cabin. So three sides of it were a cabin, but the front was a canvas.
Why?
And we did have like
Yeah,
and
cutting
we had
costs
like
here.
a bear. Yeah, well, we had like bear locks for like our food and everything.
Christ.
And I was like, oh shit! Like, I was like, is this canvas gonna protect me from a grizzly? Like, what is this?
No.
Like, I think it's just gonna rip right through it. Like, we couldn't get four walls.
No. It's like Peyton with his sweet ass outdoor grill and Bud Light tap, and his house is undeveloped. So that is, we don't need a fourth wall. Who cares? Anything else before we move on to our final segment and wrap this weasel up?
No.
So that's going to take us to our What to Look For segment, brought to you as always by VB Cookie Co. Looking for the perfect way to stand out at the next event you are hosting? Well, custom cookies are a timeless way to have everyone still buzzing even after they leave. Look no further for your cookie needs than VB Cookie Co. Follow them on Instagram at VB Cookie Co. and message them to order yours today. Whether it is a bridal shower, birthday, engagement, or baby shower, their team will work with you to make all your cookie dreams come true. VB Cookie Co. for the sweetest moments. Boy, give the people something to look for.
I believe we'll all be watching the United States of America play soccer tomorrow.
Damn right.
That's what I will be doing.
Who do we watch, or who do we play, boy?
Who gives a shit? This is America. I don't care who we play. We're gonna win. We played Bosnia.
Bosnia and Herzegovina. Remember, we used to fly their flag during our games in high school.
Yes, we did.
Because we had some
blue and gold.
Yes, our school was the same colors, and we had some Bosnians at our school who donated the flags and let us use them. So
It's really cool. I love their flag.
oh,
It's a
it's
really
very
cool
unique.
flag.
Yes, I do like it. But you're right. Tomorrow night is game time. Right? It's all or nothing. It needs to happen. Right?
Yeah,
It's
it's set up right now. It's set up for us to do it. So let's do it.
yes. Anything else? I got some stuff for us.
No, go ahead.
All right. So we got Wimbledon, the championships that started yesterday on Monday.
It is nice waking up in the morning and turning on Wimbledon and being like, I get to watch a little bit of a match before I go to work.
It's the best. It's so good to be able, because you can watch it for most of the day, right? Even if the time difference is only 5 hours, right? So they're playing games or matches, excuse me, through the early to mid afternoon, right? And yes, they have a curfew there, Wimbledon, right? So it's I forget what the time it is. It's something stupid early, but matches won't go past then. So if you're watching a match at 3 o'clock, 5 hours, it's 8 o'clock. You might even have another match coming on after that, right? So you can, like you said, you have the whole day to watch those things. We've talked about before, Wimbledon. It's the Masters of tennis. It's fantastic. The Scottish. So I have some things here because I will not be here next week. The boy and some of his boy friends will be filling in for me. So the Genesis Scottish Open, that is July 9th through the 12th. And then the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale is July 16th through the 19th on the men's golf side there. The PLL, the Premier Lacrosse League, their all-star game is this coming Sunday, July 5th at 2 p.m. in the Annapolis, Maryland.
Well, that's going to be hot as shit.
Yes, it will be. NASCAR is in Chicago this weekend, the 5th, and then they'll be in Atlanta the week after. And then the last thing I have to bring up is American Independence Day, July 4th, right? I could wax poetic for hours about how monumental that event is in the course of human history. Truly, when they say a revolutionary, like the American Revolution and revolutionary thinking, it fits the bill of what those people did during that, and all the things from the Declaration of Independence all the way through the 13 years after that when they finalized the Constitution of the United States, right? All of that is so revolutionary, and there's a reason so many other countries in the world have modeled their declarations of independence and their constitutions off of what these these men did on those summers in 1776 and again 1789, which people always forget years later when we had the Constitution, right? So it's so monumental. It's the 250th anniversary of those things happening. On July 2nd, actually, is when Jefferson, with the help of Adams and goodness gracious, Franklin, I think might have helped, but I forget. I think there's one other person that helped them that I should remember, but helped finalize the Declaration of Independence. The writing of it was on July 2nd, actually. And John Adams wrote to his wife, Abigail Adams, saying that he prophesied this, literally said, from henceforth, this date on July 2nd in America will be recognized with illuminations, fireworks, and celebrations and parties going forward because of how monumental it was they finished it. Well, obviously it didn't get, ratified until July 4th when they, most of them signed it. And I think even it wasn't like finished being done and sent out because they mailed it across the sea to King George III.
Yeah.
Right. Let's forget. So what's
like waiting on that one? Yeah. Like, shit, we gotta wait like 6 months.
It might even be more than that, yeah, to hear a response. So yes, so when they eventually sent it to him, it wasn't like King George in England knew on July 4th that America had declared independence, or the colonies had declared independence. So it had to get shipped over there. But there are some proceedings afterwards. But basically on July 4th is when they presented this to the Continental Congress and said to them, "Hey, this is what we're doing. It's time. The die is cast. We're going through this." And again, it is one of the biggest achievements, truly, in world human history because of the ideals that it set forth that no one had ever thought of saying for other people. Right? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is a thing that we take for granted that had never been fathomed before by other humans.
It almost still isn't, like
Correct.
seeing the Europeans come over here and going, wait, you guys can do this? You have
Yes.
this? Hold on.
Yes. Yes. And yes, there's always good and bad things that come with this, right? And you could sit there and say, well, I want to nitpick on these bad things, but at the end of the day, so much good has come from what they did throughout the world and how it changed how people think of other people. And so I felt like I'd be remiss if I didn't at least speak a little bit to the history and what it means and how life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. I think I watched Ken Burns talk about maybe like the second greatest or most impactful sentence in human language after "I love you." Right?
That
And
John Locke?
pound sand,
Is that
pound sand.
okay?
Uh, but yeah, so I thought that was worth it. And in celebration of America's Independence Day, yes, I would love to watch FIFA World Cup stuff. And I'm sure I'll be watching stuff on there on it or about that on that day in Wimbledon. But America's pastime is baseball, right? As much as people want to say, "Oh, it ain't baseball, it's football." No, it's baseball. It's America's pastime, right? Uh, some notable games on Independence Day: Pirates at Nats, which is starting at 11 a.m., I believe. And I believe the crew of the next Artemis mission are throwing out the first pitch, which is pretty cool.
Sweet.
Pretty fucking sweet, right? Blue Jays at Mariners, rematch of the was that the ALDS or ALCS? It was ALCS, right? Yeah, it was. Blue Jays
Yeah, that was the
ALCS of last year. White Sox at Guardians, which has become a battle for first place in that division that not a lot of people saw coming out of the south side there. Cardinals at Cubs, which is one of the oldest, most storied rivalries in the sport. Brewers at Diamondbacks, to me, is fascinating. The Brewers, as we've said before, whatever reason, just get shit on. They're the best team in baseball again. How many years in a row do they have to be the best in that division and in baseball before people go and take them seriously? I don't get it. But Brewers at Diamondbacks, and then the nightcap for you: Padres at Dodgers. Always entertaining nowadays. Should be fun to watch that. But yes, today we celebrate our independence.
I have another movie for you to add. National Treasure. That needs to be on there.
Oh, it absolutely needs to be on that list. There's another clue.
There's a clue.
Oh.
Yes, Benjamin Franklin Gates clue. Here,
Clue.
2 E's.
Pass and stow. Pass and stow. Yes, National Treasure should absolutely be on that list. It'll be the whole day. Okay, just start watching now. It'd be the greatest.
It's a great drinking game. Play the drinking game. Please do.
What is it, boy?
The drinking games of that? Oh my god. It's anytime the word treasure is mentioned, anytime a historical figure is mentioned, anytime he solves a clue. What was it? Anytime a Freemason is mentioned. It was so many things that all those things, the opening scene before you even get to where it says the first 5 minutes where they set the story up or whatever, and it's young Benjamin Franklin Gates in the attic with his grandfather, and they're setting the scene. That 5 minutes, you go through 3 beers.
America.
You just pound it, and then it goes National Treasure. You're like, oh shit.
Yes.
All right, we're in this thing. Yeah, you get trashed watching that, and it makes it fantastic. So, I probably will plan on playing that drinking game for Independence Day.
By yourself, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
No, my wife can drink now, so.
That's true. Anything else before we wrap this up and go on to celebrate America?
No.
All right.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yep. That's going to do it for us here at What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media. That's on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, and Threads at WCME_sports. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And all that information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. For the boy Stephen Vesci, I am the coach Nick Vesci. Remember, be decent to each other. Have a good one, and we will see you next time. Take care, Guatemala.